Hello and welcome back to the Hubbard Family History, covering the Hubbard family clan of Clay County, Kentucky. In this series of videos, which we're up to number 26, we're covering the history of the Hubbard family from pre-800 Viking times to today's times. This week we're going to finish up with Mamaw Hubbard, Lena Gray, her side of the family, the Grays, we're not going to finish up with them, finish up with the 14th generation, the 12th great-great-grandparents. Had so many of them we had to split it into two. So let's watch a pre-recorded video that traces the ancestors, finishes up the 14th generation back. Okay, we get right into it. We left off last week in the middle of the 11th great-great-grandparents. So this week we start off with Sir Christopher Witham Jackson. His father was George Robert Jackson, Earl of Angus, so he was a small royalty, born 1540 in England, died in 1579 in England, so died at 39. His wife was Lady Anne Elizabeth Witham, and she was born 1544 and died in 1579 in England, so only 35. C.W.'s wife was Susan Johnson. Her parents, Philip Johnson, born 1549 in London, England, died 1579 in London, England, so only about 30. Her mother, Philip's wife, was Lady Sarah Mary Berry, who was born 1549 in England and died in 1582 in London. So again, not very long lived here. After that, we go to Nicholas Tast. His father was Robert Taft, born in 1534 in Paignton, England, and died in 1590 in Fairmouth, England. His wife, Nicholas' her mother was Margaret Fawn Taft, born in 1538 in Paignton, England, and died in Cornwall, England, 1584. So not too long lived. Nicholas's wife, Margaret Milner. Her father was George Milner, born in 1558 in Lancashire County, England, died in 1589 in Manchester, in Lancashire County, England, so he's only 31 years old. His wife, Margaret's mother, was Margaret Thomasine Porter, born in 1562 in Lancashire, England, died in 1588 in Yorkshire, England, so only 26. So got some people dying here rather young. Thomas Brocas, we didn't have any information on his parents, or Elizabeth Veneer, or Stuart Mary, but Stuart's wife, Catherine Kingstone, her father was William Kingston, Esquire, of Miserden in England, born 1577, died in 1614 in Gloucester, England, so only 37 years old, so again, not too long lived. His wife was Lady Mary Washburn, born in 1584 in Witchenford, England, and died in 1661, so she would have been like 77, so a little better. Then we go to Edward Wyatt, one of our 11th great grandparents. His father was Reverend Halt Wyatt, and born in 1594 in Boxley, England, and died in 1638 at Allington Castle in Boxley, England. So 44 years old. His wife was the Lady Barbara Elizabeth Mitford, born in 1598 in Boxley, and then died in 1626 in Boxley, so only 28 years old. So his wife was Jane Conquest. Edward Wyatt's wife was Jane Conquest, and her father was Louis Conquest, born in 1586 in Halton Conquest Parish, Bedfordshire, England, and according to this, he died in 1691 in Gloucester, Virginia, so he'd have been 105, so a little bit of age there. His wife, Mary Lee, born in 1600 in Chester, England, and died in 1696 in Barnaker, England, so 96 years old. So we'll take them every chance we get. Edward Wyatt's wife, well, that's who we just talked about. But then we got Thomas Gates, governor of Jamestown. We don't have any information on his father. His wife was Elizabeth Whedon, and her father was Joseph Whedon, born in 1582 in Chesham, England, died 1820 in Chesham, England. And Joseph's wife was Anne Batty, and that's all we know is her name. Then we go on to Joseph Busby. His father was Thomas Busby, born in 1574 in Yorkshire, England, and died in 1631, so 57 years old. Not too bad. His wife was Elizabeth Leo, born in 1584 in Peterborough, England, died in 1633 in Ormsby, Yorkshire County, England. Mr. Busby's wife, Hannah Catherine James. Her father was Roger James, born in 1581 in Staffordshire County, England, and died in 1672 in Henrico County, Virginia. So he would have been 91, and his wife was Elizabeth Lisley, and we don't have any information on her birth or death. Then coming on over, we've got several of them here we don't have any information on. Edward Humphrey, or his wife, Elizabeth Brabham. We don't have any information on Laurent Camlin Larrivée, one of the French ancestors, or his wife Marie Prue. We get over here to Edward Wyatt, and his father was the Reverend Halt Wyatt, born in 1594 in Boxley, England, died in 1638 in Boxley, England, which I think we talked about him earlier. Edward's wife was Jane Conquest, who, like I say, we just talked about a few minutes ago. So again, you get into some cousins marrying here. There's Louis Conquest was her father, and we talked about her father and mother. Then we go over here to Thomas Gates. He's come up again here because of his cousins and all that getting married. And we talked about his father. We didn't have it over on the other side, but his father was Peter of High Estra Gates, born in 1650 in Essex County, England, and died in 1605 in Essex County, England. Oh, excuse me. Peter's wife was the lady Mary Jocelyn, and we don't have any information on her. Again, Thomas Gates' wife, Elizabeth Whedon, we talked about her before. Joseph Busby, the next one we have here, his father, I think, we talked about him before, Thomas Busby, born in 1574 and died in 1631, Yorkshire, England. And we talked about his wife, Hannah Catherine James. So again, we got some cousins getting married there. Then we go to Jean Sublet. She was from France. Her father was L. Soblet, born in 1575 in Sedan, Ardennes, France, and died in 1653 in the same town there, so 78 years old. His wife was Suzanne Renaudin, and that's all the information we have on her. So, Mr. Sublet's wife is Judith Lombard. Her father was Thomas Lombard, and that's all we know is his name. And her mother was Marie Gobinet, born in France, died in 1690 in France. So that's about all we know about her. So we go on to Jacques Bryan. He was born in 1611 in France. So we go to his father, which was Sir Pierre Brion. He was born in 1579 in France and died in 1641 there in Sedan, France. And his wife was Marie Poupard, born in 1589 in Sedan, France, and died in 1652 in Quebec, Canada. So she got around pretty good there. Then we go to, hope I messed up here. We go to Suzanne Girard, and her father was Jean-Pierre Girard, born in 1586 in France, died in 1659 in France. Jean-Pierre's wife was Jeanne Girard d'Orleans, born in 1580 in France and died in 1616. So a lot of French folk there in our ancestry. And we talked about her. Then we got Jean Jeremy Martin, born in France. His father was Guillaume Jean-Baptiste Martin, born in 1610 in France, died in 1711 in France. So according to that, he's 101 years old. His wife, I hope I'm not getting, his wife was Renee Marcondet, and that's all we know about her. Jean Martin's wife was Helene Lelarge, and her father was Hierosime Lelarge, born in 1620 in France, died in 1675 in France. His wife, Madeleine Pizet, she's born in 1616 in France, died about 1677. So that was, then we go to Laurent Archambault. His father was Jacques Archambault, born in 1604 in France and died in 1688 in Montreal, Canada. So 84 years old. His wife was Francois Catherine Tarot. She was born in 1599 in France and died in 1693 in Montreal. So she lived 94 years old. No information on Catherine Marchand, Laurent Archambault's wife. And then we go to Isaac Jean Ford, and his father was Jacques Faury, the stonemason, born in 1603 or 1603 in France, died in 1707 in France there, so he was 104 years old according to this. His wife was Francois Catherine Tarot, born in 1599 in France and died in 1663 in Montreal, Canada. So she didn't hardly live as long as he did there. Had nothing on, okay, we already covered her. And we, on Isaac Ford's wife there was Mary Ann Foray, and she was born to Jean Thibault, who was born in 1610 in France and died in 1686 in France. His wife, her mother was Jeanette Mignon. That's all we know about her. We have no information on Jean Chastain, but his wife was Francois Jean Renaud. Her father was Charles Renaud, born in 1581 in France, died 1640 in France. And her mother, Charles' wife, was Anne Madam, and that's all we have about her. So that's pretty well this week. That finishes out the 14th generation, the 12th great-great-grandparents. I hope you found out some stuff there. We had a lot of ancestors from France there, so some lived not so long, some lived a pretty good while. This week's sponsor is a new product, something that maybe some of you young people would want to look at, and it's a new way of looking at families.
And enjoy all the joys of parenting without the mess. No more diaper changes or surprise poop explosions. Virtual poop is just a click away from disappearing. Real kids need college funds, but a virtual child Just download the latest virtual college app and they'll graduate in minutes. No student loans required. For Gen Z couples or single parents, virtual children offer the perfect balance. All the love and none of the chaos. Parenting has never been this easy or this fun. Not valid in New York, Illinois, or Corpus Christi, Texas.
Well, I don't know if that's for everybody, but hopefully you can check out their product if you get a chance. Next week, we'll continue on with the 15th generation back from Mamaw Hubbard side of the family, going back to the 13th great-great-grandparents, good Lord willing. So until then, stay safe, stay well. But if you do anything else, whatever you do, stay Hubbard.